Good evening. I am Dr. Sonia Cunningham Leverett with Hadassah's Crown Publishing, and I am excited to be here tonight to tell you about a project that we have. There are authors here with me that will be introduced just shortly, but we have something in common. We have many things in common, but one thing that we have in common, we are very proud boy moms. And each of us have contributed stories to an anthology entitled Oh, How We Love Our Sons. And this anthology will be released at the end of this month. We'll tell you more about that. And it's not just the four of us, there are actually another eight of us. And so you will hopefully over the next couple of weeks, if you follow us, you will meet all of us. But we just want to give you some snippets, some tidbits, and some things to think about as we go prepare for our launch. So I have shared with you that I am Dr. Sonia Cunningham Leverett, very proud and happy to be with you tonight. And so I will turn it over to Karen for her introduction.
Hi, my name is Karen Neely, and yes, I'm very excited about this project tonight. And want to say that been a cosmetologist for 30 plus years, and I'm also an author I write for the First Baptist Church of Glenarden for over a year now. And I'm launching a new business coming soon, and just excited about this project here that we're writing. And I was very interested to jump aboard because I'm so proud of my son.
Awesome. We look forward to hearing more about him. And if you like more about your business as well, we are so excited to have you with us, Karen.
Yes.
And so, Tanya, would you introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. My name is Tanya Woods. I too am so excited to be a part of this project with mothers of sons who will understand my plight as I raise and rear my son. I'm an educator. I've been with my school district for 20 plus years. I won't disclose exactly how many years. I'm the mom to one son and caretaker for my dad. I'm an author. I am a certified life coach and mentor. I mentor a girls group ages 10 to 14, looking at doing a boys group as well. So I'm just excited to be a part of the project.
Awesome. We are so proud to have you. I've worked with you on numerous projects, and it's always so much fun, and I learned so much from you. So thank you for being a part of our group. And now we will have Reverend Dr. Edwina.
Hello, I am Reverend and soon to be doctor when I get that paperwork. I'm just excited.
Congratulations.
I just want the paperwork so I can just show it off. Yes. For a long journey. I am the Reverend Edwina parent. I am the mother of one son. He is 20 years old. I know I look good for my age. He's at Rising. Well, he's a junior. He's a junior at Winthrop University. And I work at Spartanburg District 7. I am district mathematics coordinator in Spartanburg District 7. I am an ordained minister, and I am founder and CEO of Dividing God Ministry, which is my online ministry platform. So that's about Reverend Perrin.
Awesome. Well, it's wonderful to have you here with your expertise in being a bestseller on Amazon. And so I have your first book, your second book slipped by me last year, so I do have to get a copy. We have to support each other, and I'm looking forward to getting that. Mm-hmm. So with no further ado, let's jump into our questions. Let's start with Tanya. Will you just share, if you will, your thoughts on the timeliness of this project, given everything that's going on around us?
Yeah, I just think with everything going on, it's important for us as mothers, as women as well, to support not only our sons, but the sons of other women. They don't get a lot of encouragement sometimes. And us being able to just say, hey, I see you. Hey, go for it. You can do it. And just being their cheerleaders, whether they have a cheerleader in their corner and they just need an extra push, or maybe they don't have somebody that's cheering them on. But hopefully they'll be able to read the stories from our sons and connect with someone in the book that will tell them that they can do it.
Mhm.
They can do what they want to do. They can conquer the world. They can realize their dreams.
Thank you. That is so very important, to make sure that they realize that they are recognized, and just to remind them how smart they are and how intelligent, because sadly, in some classrooms, in some settings, they're made to feel any kind of way except that. And so that constant reminder, and that's one of the things that I love, that most of us really did a great job of building our sons up. But that's a model for other mothers to see, which is so very important, because we are the ones who have to give that, because they may not get it in other places.
Yeah.
So, Karen, you had a very interesting way of encouraging your son through your visual. And I don't want to give too much away from about your story or whatever, but I thought that that was so unique. And I wish I had known and had done that for my son when he was much younger. Do you mind sharing how you lifted your son through art in his room?
Yes, I like Tanya state that it is the perfect time for this for this project to come out, because there are a lot of young people who aren't feeling good about themselves. And yes, as a child, my son and I, it was just the two of us. I was a single parent, as I shared in my book, in the book, that I had to put a lot of affirmations on his wall, and that helped him, I believe. When I wasn't there, if any bad thoughts came about himself, he could read it on the wall, or reminders that he can do this and he can do that, and kept a lot of scriptures on the wall. And I feel like that really helped him in his growing, and also being confident in himself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so you do a great job of talking to how important it was for you to make sure that his spirituality was in check, because we do a lot of running to soccer practice and to softball practice, and they even may go to choir rehearsal, but we have to do those check-ins to make sure that that relationship is there, and that prayer time and all of that. So I really appreciated that about your story, but I won't go into too much detail because we
Mhm.
want to save something for the readers. And so if you're watching, I hope you've already heard some things that have piqued your interest, but this is a must have. This is a book that you really need, that it may not be for your son, it may not be for your neighbor's son, but there is somebody's son who needs lifting. And it may even be a mother, whether she's an older mother or a younger mother, who needs encouragement and who may need some even tips to get through those tough times. So with that, we will go to Edwina. And if you want to just comment on either of the topics that we've raised tonight, as far as the timeliness of this project, or how you encourage your son, or the importance of encouraging your son.
Um,
Well, sorry,
Great.
sorry, I just misunderstood. Go ahead.
So,
The time of the project could not have been a better time. I think this was, not I think, I know this was ordained by God, the time frame, with so much going on, especially with Ontario being an African American male who is 20, and he has a 2017 Honda Accord. It's an EX, so it's a nice car. He is a golfer. Anybody know me? I am a golf mom. My son is a golfer. And the reason why I give the description of the car is he's not supposed to have that kind of car according to society. So this come at a perfect time. I'm sure he's surprised because he didn't know that I was doing this. But I have to encourage him, and I have to talk to him weekly, daily, just about Ontario. Remember, you are in a world that you are not accepted in, as and you would think by now we are. We have experienced many name calling. I could have wrote 50 stories in the anthology about Ontario and I, and even just attending golf tournaments with his dad, getting out the car. Him in Ontario was unloading his golf clubs. I'm getting out of my car, and we are called the N word. Y'all don't belong here. and dealing with those things and having to really remind Ontario, you are of value, you are enough, you are somebody, you are God's child. And, because again, he's not supposed to have the things that he has because he comes from a single parent home. And I tell Ontario he has the best of two worlds because, his dad was very supportive of him, but, he's supposed to be a statistic according to society. He's not supposed to be from educated family, it's just a lot of different things. And Ontario has dealt with a lot. With me being the complexion that I am, they often ask him, "Are you adopted? Did your mom adopt you?" And so I can remember one time we were on the golf course, and this lady was so audacious. She said, "Oh, when did y'all adopt him? He is so precious, and he looked just like his adopted dad." Well, we're on live, so I cannot say how I responded. But at any rate, this couldn't have come at a better time for him because he was dealing with some depression and low self-esteem about that because he was told that he didn't belong on the golf course.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, let's use that to segue into advice that we give our sons sometimes so that they don't feel that they are a threat, and how to, unfortunately, they have to be seen sometimes and not necessarily heard. And I know, Tanya, your son is younger, so it may be a little bit, different for you, but have you had to have those kind of talks with your son?
Yeah, I talked to him about what's going on in society. It's important to me that he is not sheltered from what's going on in the world, even though he may not have first-hand experience. Like Adwina was saying, we haven't experienced that together, or he has not experienced that yet. However, he needs to know. So we do talk about these things. I try to have an open enough relationship with him where he can ask me questions, and there are things that he doesn't understand. He is such a mild mannered child, though, that he has not come up against that yet. However, we do try to have the age appropriate conversations because as he grows older, he may be seen as a threat in society before people even know him. So we do have those conversations.
Awesome, awesome. And I can say that, from the time my son was very young, because he's a large guy, he was always sensitive to people who were smaller, people who were younger. And it was funny because he often took up for and spoke up for children who were being bullied. But because of his size, even on the football field, sometimes it kept him from being as assertive or aggressive because he didn't want to hurt anyone else. So he truly has been labeled by me as a gentle giant. And I know that soft side that's on the inside. And so sometimes I watch him go a little overboard well, not necessarily overboard, but he wants to just make sure that he's not threatening, just basically based on his size. So that has just kind of come naturally for him. So Kieran, what's your experience?
Well, we've always been open book as far as communicating, as far as relating to anybody, and especially with law enforcement. I've always taught him how to just present yourself as a gentleman and always be respectful. And if something is not right, stand up for yourself, but always be respectful about it. Yeah.
Awesome. Great advice. Great advice. Annie, Dwayna, any other comments?
Just be respectful and obey the law. Do what they say, and try not to put yourself in those predicaments. And I like, for example, with the time change, don't stay at the golf course beyond 5 o'clock. And he knows that's my rule. 5 o'clock, the sun is going down. You need to leave the golf course because you still are African American male who does not belong out there. So
we had that very talk yesterday. My son is into golfing and loves that. And so I just, he's already being watchful. He's very conscientious of his surroundings. And I said, no, you're not wrong. You continue to do that. Be very cognizant of your surroundings. So let's transition for a minute and talk about us as females and just how important it is for us to be at peace within ourselves, at peace with those around us. How important is our peace and our well-being in raising our sons? And so, Karen, I will start with you with that question.
It is so important that we look within ourselves and be confident and set good examples, so that way they will pick up what we're doing and know right from wrong, and they will feel confident in themselves. So that's what I think as a role model would be the best to me.
Exactly. Very, very good point. And if either Tanya or Edwina want to answer this question too, you definitely have the opportunity. But we know that even from the time that we're carrying a child, those emotions are transferred, and it's even said that, emotions are transferred in our DNA, that, our offspring, we have still felt the effects of oppression from many, many, many years ago, that all of that stress is handed down. So it's very important for us to, as much as possible, keep the child out of any kind of drama that's around but I like what you all have said. We can be protective to a degree, but we have to be straight up and honest with what's going on in our world, because we don't want them to be blindsided. We have to have those conversations. And so for me, it was always a challenge of what's age appropriate, at what point do I have this? When is he ready and when is he not? And sometimes when I started the conversation, I would immediately know, okay, we'll save that. Maybe we need to come back to that next year. It's not time right now. But there's so many things to measure, so many things to consider, but our peace and mental health are very important to establishing that well-being and raising a very healthy son. And the thing is, I think all of us are the mother of one son. And so people have often talked about how, well, they do come with the Bible. That's our instruction book and our guide. And then, everything else in between, we kind of have to have common sense and go to our elders and reach for their guidance, because we haven't done this before. This is our only opportunity. And so I always felt like, oh, wow, I'm kind of experimenting with something very, very important, but that's just kind of the way it is. And you do the very best you can. And I really like the title of one of the mothers in the book. Her title is A Flawed Mother's Love. And so right off the bat, she has made it known that she's not perfect. And that's what she tells her sons all the time. But she says that while I'm not perfect, my love is perfect. It's perfect for you. And God placed you with me for a reason. So we have some beautiful stories. We have a rainbow baby. We have adoption. We have mothers who struggle with fertility. We have mothers who, we have one who was pregnant as a teenager. And so there's so many different scenarios that can surround that relationship. But it's so funny because at the end of the day, all of our goals were the exact same. And we were trying to, accomplish the same thing as far as raising healthy young men. And I just think it's beautiful the way all of that culminates, because like I said, there's so many different things that go together. So I think it kind of goes without saying why we decided to participate in this. I know for me, my letters were already written. I included letters that I started writing many years ago. And so my content was already there. I did kind of tweak it at the end to make it more up to date now. But let me just hit you with this question. And Edwina, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Can you love your son too much?
I laugh and chuckle because let me say this. I was loving my son with materialistic things because he was the only child. Now I loved him with my heart, but you can't love them too much with giving. I always tell my son, I kind of created a monster and he know I say that because he is rotten. He know I will give him anything. He know I will do anything for him. But I had to stop some things when he got to college because it was like, oh, mama, can I have this? Can I have this? And I know he would have money. So I had to restrict the materialistic giving. I had to really restrict that and always, well, can I have? Oh, yeah, go ahead, Ontario. You can have it. And I should have said, no, you need to work for it. But I felt like I had to overcompensate sometimes because I would blame myself for a lot of things like, oh, if I wasn't a single parent or he wouldn't have to deal with this. And so I was trying to overcompensate for those things or overcompensate for working on going to school and not being there. And when my mom was living, my mom was watching him or his dad was watching him. So I found myself trying to overcompensate for that time. So you can never love them too much with your heart and your the love and your soul and your mind. But you can't love them too much, giving them too much. And I experienced that. And even I laugh now because my son for graduation, he wants a Rubicon Jeep Wrangler for his graduation present. And I was like, no, we're not doing that now. So I have to say no a lot now.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your honesty and your confession because I saw some nods and I know I can relate to what you said. And it's just when you have and when they won't, it's just easy to do. And so it requires discipline to not give in and not to give in too much. So thank you for that. And so, Karen, do you have anything you would like to add?
Yes, indeed. By him being my first son, I smothered him. Yes, I did. I will admit. But through praying and asking God to guide me in tough situations, I had to learn how to let it go and just be a good example to him so that when he would have challenges, he would know to go to God first and not me. But yeah, I did. I smothered him with attention, with love, just to try to make sure that by it just being me around, I wanted to overcompensate for just being me around. So I would say, yes, I did. But I left him alone now. Today he's independent, doing his own thing, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the fact that I let go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tanya, any comments?
Yeah, well, I think I might be the oddball out just a little bit here because with things, I was like, no, he's not getting this. No, he's not getting this, and so I had to stop other people from giving him so much because whatever he wanted, many people don't know my dad lives with me. So that's his first grandchild. So Papa, whenever they went to the store, Papa would get him whatever he wanted. Or if Papa went to the store by himself, Papa would bring things back for my son. So I kind of had to be the heavy and not be the one that gave him so much. However, with the attention aspect of it, I did too much on that end. And I started out with, well, he was a preemie and we didn't get to hold him for a long time. So when he came home, I just needed to hold him. I just needed to love on him because it was so long that we didn't get to do that. He was in the NICU for 83 days. So in that respect, yeah, I did. I doted on him a lot with the come sit with me, come let me hug you, let me do this for you, let me do that type of thing. But it wasn't the material things that I spoiled mine on. So I ended up being the heavy hitter and the hammer in some of the relationships with him and my dad and his dad and my brother, his godfather, just anybody he met really just spoiled him. So I had to go the other way.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting. It is, and it's just great to bring the perspectives together and to kind of compare notes and so forth. So this next question is a loaded question because it can go so many different ways. And I, don't want anyone to feel put on the spot, but just whatever you'd like to share from it. It's a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it says, "Men are what their mothers made them." So first, how much do you agree with that? And do you agree? Is there a school of thought that says that mothers can actually make men? Because I know that there are some people who would completely disagree that a female cannot make a man, regardless as to how hard she tries. So what are your thoughts on that, and how have you, worked around that? And so since Tanya's smiling, we'll start with her on that one.
Well, I get that some people agree with that thought and some people don't. I think the fact that in our society there have been so many single women that have had to do this, I'm going to put in quotation marks, job. Um, we make them good, bad, and ugly. Whether it's somebody who's going to be a good citizen in the world, or whether it's somebody who is looking for a handout, that's kind of what we do. I think as parents, period, whether it's mom or dad, um, you instill in them kind of this is how they grow up to be. I think about, we talked about the Bible earlier, and it says train up a child in the way they should go. When they get old, they won't depart from it. So we have a hand in making that child, whether it's boy or girl. We just happen to be talking about boys right now and mothers. We have a hand in making him who he is, in cultivating her thought processes and his actions to some degree. Yes.
All right.
I would
Yes.
agree with you, Tanya. Oh, go ahead, Karen.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I would agree with you, because in some aspects, I have made Ontario. For example, he has to eat breakfast every day because from kindergarten, well, from daycare to 12th grade, I made Ontario breakfast. I'm not talking about cereal. I'm talking about scrambled eggs, bagel, bacon, sausages. I mean, it was like a gourmet. I did that until the last day of school for him, senior year. And a lot of my friends said, "You are ruining him. Who's gonna want to do that?" And, I mean, he got 3-course meals, so I did make him in that aspect of like, oh, I gotta eat, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm a neat freak. I made him with that, and then he finally realized, like, Mama, this is too much stress. So he's not as bad as he was. But I do think we have a hand in that, and that shaping that. However, I cannot take all the credit for him being a male, with a lot of things, because a lot of attributes he does or did get from his dad teaching him. But there are some ways that I did make him with some things that I myself.
All right. Well, Kieran, what's your response?
Well, I think that, well, God gave us the mantle of raising our kids, but I can't take it all as, the whole credit. I would say definitely it takes a village to raise a child. And with that being said, my mother and my father was there. At times I needed help from the church. I had to connect them with other men. So it definitely takes a village. And no, I couldn't have done this all by myself. So.
Mhm. Awesome. Very well said. I agree with all of the comments, and that's pretty much what I've found as well. Now, as far as, virtues and habits around the house, there are a lot of things that we can teach, but it is great when when they have male role models who can teach them some, masculine things that we can't necessarily teach. So, it is great to have that village, and it's definitely needed. It is.
Mhm.
So, as we begin to wind down and wrap up, I just want to again talk about our launch that we will have right here, same channel, on Saturday morning, November 28th. This is the Saturday morning after Thanksgiving at 10 o'clock. We will have prizes and we just plan to have fun. We hope to get as many of our authors online together as we possibly can so you can meet us all. You can hear more about the anthology, and you can also purchase your anthology. So all of the authors, you can support them. You can find out their Cash App and purchase books that way. And the book will also be available on Amazon. Again, we will have some giveaways and just fun. So come back, do invite friends. They will have some flyers out there. We would hope that you would help us get the word out, help us share it. And we are just looking forward to seeing you. We will be back next Monday night for another Facebook Live. And we will be on Instagram this coming Thursday night at 7 with a live with a couple of our authors as well. So the support has already been great. We had an anonymous donor who purchased 10 books and said, I want to bless someone with this anthology. And so it was awesome. So if our anonymous donors out there, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't tell you how much your support means. And I thank you on behalf of all of the authors because that was just a very kind gesture. Those were the first books that were purchased. So we appreciate what you have sown into us. And we really do plan to sow into the lives of others, to future generations. We don't plan just to lift our sons. We want to lift other sons as well. And so there are mothers out there who need the book. There are sons out there and just families. Just, we want to have an appreciation for our males and we want them to know that they are valued, that they are loved, that they are respected, and that they have bright futures ahead of them, that we don't want them to be inundated and overwhelmed by the negative that they see on TV because sadly, most of what they see when it comes to their profile is just not good. But we don't tell enough about the many, many men who are becoming doctors and lawyers. And I just say those two professions because they come to mind, first of all, but there are so many other professions. And we have right now so many Black males in college. The numbers are up there. They really are. But sadly, that's not being talked about. What's being talked about are the number who are in prison, and the many who are committing crimes. That's not what we want to focus on. Yes, that is unfortunately what happens, but it doesn't just happen in the Black community. It happens in every community. And so sadly, I just, sometimes hate the images that are put out there, but we have to keep positive in front of our sons. And that's the purpose of this project. That's the value of this project. And so I thank you, Tanya. I thank you, Edwina. I thank you, Karen, for being on tonight. And I thank you for giving your time and your commitment to this project so that you were able to share personal information, personal stories that hopefully lift someone else. So before we depart, I'd like to give you an opportunity to shout out someone or your business or whatever you like to share with the audience, anything that has not been shared. We'll start with you, Tanya.
All right. You can connect with me on Facebook as author Tanya Wood, or check me out on my website at soulift.net. That's SOULLIFT.net. I look forward to connecting with everybody.
Karen.
Yes, you can connect with me. My email is claxton.karen@yahoo.com. And also, I would like to highlight that I am a senior cosmetologist and a manager for Angel Hair Salon. And that's located in 7800 Central Avenue, Landover, Maryland. And the telephone number there is 301-350-3316.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. And Edwina.
I am, as I stated earlier, the founder and CEO of Divining God Ministry. So you can follow me on my Facebook page at Divining God, my Twitter at Divining God, Instagram at Divining God. You also can hear me on my podcast. Check out my podcast, Dr. Leverett and Tanya have been guests on my podcast, and the podcast is hashtag There Is a Word. And it can be found on all platforms. It's on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Rocket Cast. I can't name them all. Anchor. So you can follow me on there. I would love to have you as a subscriber, and go and check out Dr. Leverett interview and Tanya's interview that they did earlier during the pandemic season. So I did the podcast there, and you can catch me every Tuesday at Divining God Facebook with Tuesday Talk. Hashtag There Is a Word.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you. We have some very talented ladies who have contributed to this. We have a number of educators. We have a cosmetologist. We have a retired Army major. We have a CEO of a nonprofit. And I can't even tell you about all of the awesome careers, because we just have a very professional group. But again, what we share is the fact that we truly love our sons, and we want the world to know. So again, we hope to see you next Monday night. We hope to see you this coming Thursday night on Instagram, and we hope to see you for our launch on November 28th. So please share this live with some of your followers. But we appreciate you for following Hadassah's Crown Publishing and keeping abreast of the works that we have coming out. We reached our 50th book this year. So to God be the glory for that. And we just look forward to everything else that he has forthcoming for us. So this is the first of a number of other anthologies. We already have a dad wanting to share his story about his son. So we may have an anthology with the dads, and we have mothers of young ladies who want to get their words out and to encourage our young ladies as well. So we have a lot of exciting things coming up. Thank you for following us. Thank you for the love. We appreciate everything. And we thank you for your time tonight. We want to remind you, how we love our sons, and we love yours as well. So again, thank you for listening, and we pray and hope that this book will bless you as much as it has blessed us in partaking in this opportunity and endeavor. Thank you all. Have a great night.